Hey y'all, it's Dree. My message today feels like the moment when something that once looked stable no longer feels aligned. And I know that's not the conclusion that everybody wants to come to. But let's get into this. At the beginning of my spread, we see the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. Together, this is strong, structured energy. It represents something that appears solid on the outside, like leadership, stability, security. It's the kind of situation people would look at and assume it's grounded. But right underneath these two cards comes the Nine of Cups reversed and the Lovers reversed. So emotionally, these cards say that something is off. I'm getting that something that once felt like wish fulfillment doesn't feel the same way anymore. And the connection itself is not seeming like it's aligned anymore. The structures still may be there, but the heart is not fully in it. Because then the truth starts surfacing. The Seven of Swords reverse is often the moment when something can't stay hidden anymore. It's when avoidance ends. It's when reality starts becoming clear. And at the same time, the energy here, it shows exhaustion. The Nine of Wands is someone who has been holding on for a very long time, trying to push through and make something work. But that energy, it eventually leads into the Five of Pentacles, which can bring feelings of being unsupported or emotionally left out in the cold. This is something big, because this card isn't like putting you on the porch and locking the door for an hour. It's like leaving you out in the cold, in the snow, unprepared, and not looking back at you. Because then comes an important revelation or realization. The Seven of Pentacles is reversed here, and this is the moment someone looks at how much time and energy they've invested into a situation and begins asking themselves, is this actually growing? And that realization leads us directly into the Empress. This is where this spread becomes very interesting, because the reading actually begins with the Emperor. And now we're seeing the Empress appear practically in the very center of this spread. So these two cards, archetypes, they're counterparts in tarot. The Emperor represents structure, authority, and control, while the Empress represents self-worth, growth, and nurturing energy. And when they appear together like this, it often shows a correction in a power dynamic. I'm getting that someone begins remembering their value and stops operating from a place where they were giving more than they were receiving. And I'm getting that that's you, the collective. Around this part, we see tension start to appear. The Five of Wands here, this shows conflict and competing energies. And the Four of Wands reversed, this suggests the foundation itself may not feel stable anymore. And that is where the Chariot arrives and enters the story. The Chariot is determination. It's the moment someone decides they are going to take control of their direction and their life instead of remaining stuck in the chaos. But the Ace of Wands reverse shows that the spark behind the whole situation itself may already be fading. The motivation to stay in it just isn't there the way it once was. But there is still an attempt to communicate here, I'm getting. The Magician, this shows someone trying to create change or shift the situation. And the Page of Cups, this can represent emotional messages, apologies, or attempts to reconnect again. But the Six of Swords reversed suggests the past still has weight to it. Moving forward isn't easy when the emotional history is still unresolved, because that leaves somebody in the energy of the Two of Pentacles, which is trying to balance decisions, emotions, and responsibilities while figuring out what to do next. But eventually, the emotional truth here, it becomes undeniable. The Star reversed, this represents losing faith in the situation. You're realizing something you hoped would heal may not actually be able to. And that realization brings the Five of Cups, which is the stage of grief and emotional processing. It's acknowledging the disappointment of what didn't work out. And the Ace of Swords reversed here. This suggests that the clarity may have taken time to arrive. It says that the truth that is being seen, it wasn't obvious at first. But this spread ends with the Four of Swords, which is healing, rest, and stepping back from a situation in order to regain your peace. Looking at the deeper energy here, underneath everything, the bottom of the deck. The message becomes even more simple. I've got the Eight of Cups reversed, the Eight of Swords reversed, the Page of Wands, the Fool, and Justice. This is like the Eight of Cups reversed. This shows someone lingering in something even though they already sense it's not emotional fulfilling. And then the Eight of Swords reversed. This appears, and that's the breakthrough. It's the moment where someone realizes that they were never truly stuck in the first place. And once that realization happens, the energy shifts very quickly. The Page of Wands brings curiosity and new possibilities. And then the Fool, this represents stepping into a completely new chapter with fresh energy, with an unknown outcome possibly. And the Justice anchors the entire spread, because justice restores balance. It represents truth, fairness, and the universe correcting what has been out of alignment. So if we step back and look at the bigger picture here, this spread, it forms a powerful sequence. Going back to the Emperor and the Empress, and then the Justice. With this, I'm getting authority, self-worth, and balance is restored. This is you, not anyone else. So I'm getting here that the guidance is to say that sometimes the most powerful step forward, it begins with simply acknowledging the truth. Because if you slow down, take a step back, and look with clear eyes and a clear mind and without expectation, then the picture, it's going to show itself clearly. And it'll do that every single time. So that is the message that I have for y'all today. Where there is love, there is light. I'll see you all again real soon.